Hello guys. Today I will be discussing my brief history of my hometown, which is San Fernando, Cebu. This is the San Fernando, Cebu. Let's start. San Fernando is located at the right edge of the Cebu. Here, this is the right edge. Near at the right of the edge at the Cebu. And before, it was used to be a territory of Naga. And yes, it used to be a territory of Naga. But at the center of the seal of the municipality of San Fernando is a man carrying a flaming torch and a broad daylight with an inscription of the year 1858. You know why it's 1858? Well, let's discover it later. So, this man, Juan Diong, is the one of the racers of the San Fernando. So now, who is Juan Diong? So he is a migrant from Tubigon, Bohol. Was a former mangyuyuta in Sangat, San Fernando, who lead the people of various barangays such as Magsiko, Kabatbatan, Balungag, Sangat, Panadaran, and Pitalo to band together to separate from the town the city of Naga. So the officials of Naga Cebu opposed the separation, justifying that the separation would do no good, as the barrios calling for separation were so poor and could not exist on their own. So now let's go to the history. So that's what I am saying now. The people back in San Fernando are implementing are requesting for separation because it was supposed to be a part of Naga, but now it was on their own. So let's see the history of its name. So this is Juan Diong fighting for separation, right? And here Juan Diong was accompanied by the delegation of Barrios went to the municipality of Cebu and to convince the civil and religious leaders to approve the separation by the virtue of Royal Decree of 1858. That's why the logo right here has an inscription of 1858 because it was the creation of San Fernando. A new town has been born. It was assigned and it has been assigned with a new parish priest, and the church name was San Isidro Labrador. And the town was later given a name in honor of its well-liked parish priest. So the name of the parish priest is Fernando Sanchez, which is later named the title of the town Fernando Sanchez, San Fernando. So it has become San Fernando because of its parish priest, named after its parish priest. So for the present times, the San Fernando town has a total of 12 barangays. So this is the parish priest, no? This is my representation. So the San Fernando town has a total of 12 barangays. And these are the Balud, Balungag, Pasak, Bugho, Kabatbatan, Green Hills, Ilaya, Lantawan, and so on, as what you can see here on the screen. So now, if you ask me if there are any tourist spots and historical spots in San Fernando, Cebu, of course, there are a lot of numerous tourist spots here in San Fernando, such as the Hidden Paradise, which is here, the Hidden Paradise, the Pulcra Resort, the Mountain View Resort, and many more. But I will take you to the place that made the San Fernando famous for its name, the San Isidro Labrador Church. So this is the San Isidro Labrador Church that had been created in the sake of separation of the town San Fernando to Naga City. So as we all know that Cebu has its fair share and square of beautiful and centuries-old churches that were established during the Spanish time One of those beautifully made done ancient church is located down here in the south of the province of Cebu, which is in the San Fernando, Cebu, and its name is the San Fernando Labrador Church. So, the San Fernando Labrador Church took over 10 years just to be finished. The construction started from 1870 to 1886. The Spanish period church, like just like the many other old church, has one of its kind because it is well made of coral stones, meaning this church is made of coral stones, a block of coral stones. You know, it's not easy to create just a simple, just a big church made of coral stones. So back then, you guys know, we don't have cement pa. It's everything is made of coral stones, and the rocks church of it as is made of coral stone. So this is one of the churches that has Gothic design in Cebu. The Gothic influence are expressed in the church. Rose windows and the openings that are made slope in the flamboyant arc. So inside the church, guys know, we we haven't showed it here lang, but the church has a flamboyant art inside it. And as you can see right there in the picture, the windows are made of roses. And currently the church has two bells and made of concrete. The bells are addition and aren't part of the original design. So these are not part of original design and well added na lang for its modernification, and it's no wonder that is the church during the Visita Iglesia, despite the distance of San Fernando Labrador Parish, is well visited by a lot of people because it is well taken care of and well maintained. So let's proceed to the why we should visit San Fernando. Well, it's because it's one of the places that has unique and fun festival. And this annual celebration is called the Sikoy Sikoy Festival. So when it was first celebrated during November 17 to November 21. The festival is where the people are dancing all out of the streets, wearing the costumes of fishermen. This festival comes from the word sikoy, refers to the act of net fishing. So sikoy means net fishing. During the rough tides means lisod manguhag isda, which is very hard to catch fish. The celebration symbolized to thank God for the gift of love to the locals of San Fernando. And it comes to the Thanksgiving, that ritual, petitions, and prayers for protection and guidance of a bountiful farm of a sea harvest for the San Fernando Hanons. So the history of the town will not be completed without the introduction of its delicacy of San Fernando. So right now, we all know that different towns have their own different distinct delicacy and they are own famous for it. Just like the lechon for karkar. So, lechon for karkar, rosquilitos for liluan, and many others, which we will not be discussing for we will be focusing in San Fernando delicacies. So, the specialty of San Fernando is buko pies. Yes, you didn't hear it wrong. It's buko pies. So, these are not like your usual buko pies that you can buy in the mall or in the groceries. So yeah, as you can see, these are the buko pies. It is well presented in the municipality of San Fernando, just like just by in our place in southern and far place. So this is the buko pie, the proudly made buko pie of San Fernando. So these are the ones you can find in the San Fernando and are not sold in a whole pie. Instead, they are made into smaller sizes, almost just like bibingka or puto. You will find this very tasteful and even much better than the ones you buy at the city. The buko pies of the San Fernando is always sold hot and fresh, made from fresh tender young coconut meat combined with a creamy filling and enclosed in a flaky pie crust. So whenever you buy buko pie, guys, no, it's always fresh and hot, and it's created for the taste of Filipinos. You can feel the taste of Filipinos talaga, the sweetness, the tenderness, and the juiciness inside it. And they are served hot. So meaning if you buy them, they are still hot, and it is very rare to be served a cold buko pie. So I'm telling you, it's very worth it to buy it just to taste the bits of it. Also, since they are made smaller, they are wrapped individually and sold in boxes. So you guys can also bought them individually. So that's all right, guys, no? The history, the present, and the different lifestyles and the events, and of course the delicacy. So what are you waiting for? Come and visit San Fernando. For who might know, you might like the buko pies of San Fernando Hanons. So that's all for the brief history. Thank you for having here with me.